Good afternoon, everybody. How we doing today? I want to thank everybody for coming to Deal Soldier. We're going to talk about some of the eBay reselling, the Facebook reselling, some tips and tricks, how to get started if you haven't done it before, as well as answering any of your questions while we are live. First and foremost, I want to thank Kathleen and Sean for allowing us to meet together like this. They allow us to meet in a platform where I can answer questions live. You can ask as many questions as you want. If I don't have the answer, we'll either get back to you with one, or one of our moderators that are in the chat that are helping out as well will be able to help. Show you where we are today. Today we are in the Deal Soldier training. Today is going to be the Reselling Masterclass. This is really where I'm going to walk you through eBay, walk you through Facebook Marketplace, how to set up your first sale, tips and tricks, how to get viewed before other people, even if your prices are higher than others. Make sure you keep your prices profitable. We'll talk about some caveats, how to track everything, make sure that you're still making a profit, because if you're reselling stuff, you're not making a profit, definitely doing it wrong. Where we are today is we're in the #1 reselling group, where most of your stuff is going to be sourced is directly from Deal Soldier. But let's jump right into it. Let's see, do I have the chat up? Lower that volume, can you guys hear the music in the background? Is that too loud? Hey, Rhino Deals, welcome in. Yeah, Rhino Deals, our moderator, is going to be answering some of the questions as well if you have anything. But real quick, what we're going to cover today, that reseller mindset. Basically what it takes to start the reselling, sourcing, pricing comps, eBay mastery, shipping. We'll go over some of the return strategies if somebody's asking you that they want to return an item that's broken or something. We'll go over pre-sale rules. This is big if you're selling stuff that hasn't been released yet. We'll go over the Facebook Marketplace, how to get recognized, how to find people for you. Okay, perfect. So I just wanted to make sure I wasn't drowning anything out. Any cross-platform tips if you're selling on multiple platforms, what to do so you don't mess up one platform versus the other. I can tell you multiple times I sold on Facebook when I had it listed on eBay as well, and I forget to remove it off eBay. So the two major platforms I'm going to be focusing on is eBay and Facebook. Those are going to be the two major platforms. Mercari's making a comeback, so if you have any questions about Mercari, I do have some experience. I'm just starting to post again on Mercari. It's starting to gain my trust. There's a couple things they've done in the past that I kind of wasn't really liking, so I started steering away from them. But eBay will give you that national reach. You can ship it anywhere. You can do international. The one caveat of eBay is that 13% fees. You're going to pay a lot more selling on eBay, especially with shipping and heavy stuff. Hey, welcome in. New to the group, that's awesome. If you got any questions about the group or anything, drop them in here. I'd love to help you out. Have you purchased anything yet? Also, the Facebook Marketplace. You got that major reach of the local buyers in your area. Quick cash. There's going to be no fees. Facebook doesn't charge you anything for local pickup. So what is reselling? Reselling is also, another word for it is retail arbitrage. What it really means is buying at a lower price, selling it for a profit. Simple as that. You buy for low, you sell for higher, and you make a profit. So the formula for profit is going to be your sale price. So a lot of people just think it's the sale price minus the price that they bought it for. But there's some other things that get mixed in there. You'll have your cost, your fees, your shipping, any supplies. I can tell you I started using bubble wrap for the more valuable stuff. That way I get a lot less returns. I don't think I've had a return in the last year. eBay, you got to just factor in that 13.25 and then the 30 cents per order. The Facebook, you don't have any fees, but if you're putting it in any boxes or wrapping it or anything else, you got to account for that. But always calculate your profit. Make sure you are making money or it's not worth doing. And my price point is I look for that 30-50% return on investment when I'm selling. So I won't buy anything unless I know I'm going to make that 50% really. So keys to success, knowledge is power. Hey Janine, welcome in. I'm loving all the new people joining in. So if you have questions, drop them in here. If you're bashful and you don't like to ask questions while live, we do have a chat support for you. You can just click the screen icon right here. You'll get greeted with the chat support at the bottom. This will open up a one-on-one message with our staff. You can ask away. You'll be greeted with a live person pretty quickly, and then all of our questions pretty much get answered within 2 to 3 minutes. There are no dumb questions. None of us here are going to berate you for asking a dumb question because they don't exist. So there's no dumb questions. I can tell you when I started, I was fresh probably 2 years ago, and I asked so many questions because I want to make sure that I can dot my I's, cross my T's. I invested pretty much everything that we had in our bank account at the time to try to start growing. So I didn't have room for error. So definitely ask any questions that you have. So knowledge is money. Like I said, no dumb questions. Ask as many questions as you can. Speed is going to matter. So fast sourcing will get you the best item. List it and sell it, ship it as quick as possible. Consistency is going to win. List daily, source weekly. So find new items if you can weekly. Make sure you're listing at least on a day-to-day basis, if not every other day. And track everything. Make sure you're making a profit. Track all your costs. Make sure it's worth it for you. Track your hours. Make sure the hours make up what you want to be making per hour, or you don't want to do things and make a loss, is really what I'm saying. I can tell you right before this call, my wife and I, we went to Lowe's and we picked up 100 boxes of flooring. I was almost late to this call, but we were able to get the flooring unloaded and moved into our house very quickly. So track everything and communicate. Build that trust with customers. I can tell you, as soon as I get any contractor items in, I have a contractor list. My wife and I will reach out to all the contractors. Hey, we just got some appliances. We just got some flooring in. I got toilets. What are you guys looking for? I'm building that rapport with them. And pretty much as soon as I get items now, within a couple days they're sold. I don't have to sit on items as long as I used to. What's the best way I can start profiting right away? The best way is going to be buying at that 70-80% mark and then selling it between that 40-30% off of retail. For an example, I bought flooring today that was maybe $60 a box. I bought it for $10 a box. I'm going to try to offload it very quickly at $35 a box. It's still a big discount for them. People are still interested right away. But I'm making double my money for doing almost nothing. I went to the store, picked it up, put it in my truck, threw it in my garage, and somebody's going to come and load it in their truck. Would it be worth listing one item today and one tomorrow and spread out the days I'm listing throughout both up at once? If you're talking about EJ, Benjamin, you hit the nail on the head. You do want to list consistently. eBay will reward you for listing consistently, where you list, say, one item today, tomorrow, once a day, versus listing 7 items today and nothing for the rest of the week. eBay wants to see that you're going to be a return seller, that you're not just that one-off collector where you're just trying to offload one item. If you are consistent, they will reward you in the algorithm and move you to the top. We'll go over some other tips and tricks, but that is definitely more beneficial to post one today, one tomorrow, and spread it out than posting everything today. So where to source? Obviously, we're all part of the #1 group, Deal Soldier. And if you're not, there's going to be a link in the bio if you're catching this video later. But there's some great channels in here to source. The Walmart, huge. Anything that's at 70-80% off, pretty much you can sell it for 30% off. Nobody's complaining. They're getting a deal. You made huge money on it. No complaints. One of my other favorite channels to source are these online finds right here. This is going to be more of that FOMO, the fear of missing out, where you're going to buy at retail price and you're going to sell it for extra because people can't get their hands on it. You'll see a lot of this with Pokemon, collector items. But this online find right here, don't sleep on this channel. Some other great channels, if you're Ross, TJ Maxx, Marshalls, right here. So Ross, TJ Maxx, Marshalls. Halloween items. You got your Home Depot Halloween items. You got Cracker Barrel starting to release Halloween items. This right here is a great channel to source. You'll go to Michael's, you can get a list of items that are going to sell. You buy it for $49 and you're selling it between $2 and $2.50. I mean, that's 3-4 times the amount that you paid for it. Great way to make money. Garage sales estates, another great thing. Look out for sporting items, vintage, gaming, collector items. If you don't know, just pull out your phone. Your phone is a great tool that you have. Go to eBay, start seeing what other people are selling it for, and I'll show you how to do that shortly. I've seen people do the liquidation pallets. I was told at the flea market recently. We actually just sold at a flea market Sunday, our first time this year, and we cleared $1,400 profit, and they were saying it was a slow day. But liquidation pallets, I heard Staples are starting to do pallets or starting to do the Amazon pallets. Online arbitrage, that's where I was just talking about, where you're buying at that retail price and you're selling it because it's that fear of missing out, or it's a hot item like Nidos or Pokemon. And Facebook Marketplace. I purchase things on Facebook Marketplace that I've resold for a profit. So what to look out for, especially if you're at like those garage sales, estate sales, or Facebook Marketplace. Even at Target, Lowe's, Walmart, these are great items to look out for. The brand names, the Nike, Apple, Lego, Sony, Bose. Any of the brand names are going to sell very well. Electronics sell well. Discontinued items. Now, for an example, there's body soap that gets discontinued every year around Christmas time. People attach to a scent and they can no longer get that scent anymore. It gets clearanced out at the end of Christmas or the end of, I think, January, February. For an example, the soaps. You can pick up that soap. It's a niche, and then you can resell it for 2 or 3 times what the actual market price was. And you bought all the soap at 80% off because it's a discontinued Halloween item or a discontinued Christmas item. Seasonal items, I hit that a little bit. You're gonna look for the Home Depot Halloween items. Halloween is really good at Marshalls, TJ Maxx, Home Depot, Cracker Barrel. Great places to check for Halloween items. Christmas items, the same thing. Complete sets are always going to do better than just having one piece of the set. But don't sleep on the one piece either. Niche items, and collectors will pay a premium for the niche items. Sometimes if you have that niche item, and I'll be able to show you the load on like eBay, you may sit for a little bit, but you'll get a higher profit. So what to avoid? Oversaturated items. If there's too many listings, not enough sales. No recent sales history just means you're going to sit on it a little bit. I'll still buy no recent sales history if there's a good markup on it. But other than that, I'll try to avoid it. Heavy items with low margins. If your only place to sell the item is eBay or an online marketplace, it's very heavy. Factor in that shipping cost. It's not cheap. Restricted brands on eBay. Alcohol, obviously. Weapons. Counterfeits. Stay away from counterfeits. I don't like selling fakes. I see a lot of fake Nitos. I only sell legitimate almost everything that we sell. So let's talk about how you find the price of something selling for. Are you talking about 70-80% on Amazon deals? I mean, that's okay. Amazon has a lot of junk that's mixed in there. I'm more talking about, let's see if I can pull it up. Like if you go into the Walmart clearance, right? If you're able to pick up these items for this sale right here, so this is 80% off. So if you can pick up this Graco car seat for 20 bucks and you can offload that locally for $70, $80, that's more what I'm talking about. So I'm talking about like 80% off. If you can buy it 80% off in store, like at a Lowe's, a Walmart, a Target, any of those stores, and you sell it for 20 to 30% off, they're getting a deal, you're getting a deal, everybody's winning, and you'll have no bad sellers. They'll keep coming back to you, or buyers. I do this a lot, so I can tell you we have regulars that now look out for us and buy from us because we make it easy. For an example, another one, this headset right here, $8, usually $40. If you buy this for $8 and you sell it for $30, good profit on your end, steal a deal for them. Let me know if that makes sense, Tinky. Let's go back. So we're talking about how you find the price of an item. So for an example, let's see if I can pull this up. Let me send it. So for example, I bought a Dremel today at Tractor Supply. I haven't listed it yet, but let's check the pricing. So let's go to eBay. I bought a Dremel Multi-Max MM 50. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to search the item. If I had the item in hand, I'm using my phone, I can actually search by barcode as well. You just hit the little camera icon on your phone and then scan that barcode. Let's see if that's a little small for you. So I can tell you I picked this Dremel up for $35 at Tractor Supply. Looking at it right now, it looks like a great deal. So I'm seeing what people are listing it for. So let me sort by price plus shipping lowest first. I want to make sure the item is brand new because I saw some refurbished in that list. So here we go. So I'm seeing $75. I'm seeing bidding for $32, $74, $74, $78. So it looks like $80 is that mark. But that just means that listing it for $80 does it sell. So I'm going to go one step further. I'm going to hit the filter right at the bottom. More filters. Actually, did I? Oh, right here. I'm sorry. Show only. Sold items. This is going to show me any items that have sold. So I see $60, I see $50, $58, $60, the June 7th, $70. So it looks like the prices are dipped a little bit. That's probably because they're going global clearance, and they'll come right back up. I'll probably take this item and sell it for around $70. Let's do the same thing on Facebook Marketplace. So Dremel multi-tool. So I see used here, 30, 25, 25, 70 used. 40, 19, 30. So I'm seeing used around $40. Now I paid $35 for this, so I'm already ahead of the used market. Let's see if I can find any new. Condition, new. So I'm just going to filter out. So they're trying to tell me that this one is new, but it's not. So now I'm going to look for them in the box. 50, but that still looks used. I'd probably list this around 70 on Facebook Marketplace and start entertaining offers. It looks like eBay is probably going to be my avenue that it gets sold. No big deal. I want to show you one more thing. So availability, sold. So you can search by sold. Now Facebook Marketplace doesn't have as much data on sold because if somebody has multiple, they may not mark it sold until they all sell. So you won't get a true how many have sold. But looking here, I'm seeing $40. I saw one right here, $100 sold. So Tinky, when I sell construction material on Marketplace, I ask if they do it for a living and interested in me messaging them when I find items useful to them. Most always, yeah, I don't think I've had a contractor tell me no as well. I do the same thing. So I'll ask them, hey, are you a contractor? And I already know that they're a contractor. I've already done my back-end research. They'll say yes. I say, do you buy flooring a lot or do you buy different construction material often? And they'll say yes. And I'll ask them, I say, what is your wish list? What do you look for regularly? And most of the time they'll say vanities, toilets. Toilets is a big one. Flooring, paint. Really, they'll tell me their niche. I'll mark that down into a database. And anytime I have any of those items, I'll reach out to them. And that's how I'm selling that stuff a lot quicker. So usually, the first way I'm going to find that contractor is just posting on Facebook Marketplace. Say if it's my first time, I'm going to post my flooring on Marketplace. I'll start getting buyers. You'll notice 90% of the time that somebody's going to buy that flooring is really a contractor. And then you'll start building your regulars that way. If you get a home buyer, you say, hey, do you guys do this often? Or do you buy and sell, or do you buy flooring a lot on, or do you look for other items? If they say no, they're trying to finish their flooring, you can just thank them and make the sale, and try to keep a list though of who's buying it in the future. And my buyers list has been growing greatly. So we talked about the filtering, we talked about viewing the sales, checking active listings, calculating fees. The one big thing that a lot of people don't account for is shipping. You can actually search eBay shipping calculator. And right here, you can put the weight of an item. Say that Dremel was 10 pounds. The box is maybe 10 by 6 by 3. I'm shipping from, I'll put a zip code in here. Say this is your zip code. And then shipping to is optional. See shipping services. Now this will give you a range where if they're in your area or the furthest. So if I'm shipping Ground Advantage, I'm probably looking between $6 and $12. So I can factor in that into my cost of what my average shipping will be if I'm going to offer free shipping. Running Facebook ads, I do not think is worth it. I have not seen any return on Facebook ads. I did try it once. There's actually a better tool to do instead of Facebook ads. It's going to be selling into your buy-sell groups. And I'll show you a little bit of that shortly. I can tell you 90% of my buyers come from those buy-sell groups. We'll go over that very shortly, though, for you. For Facebook, search that marketplace. You can sort by local pricing. You're going to know what sells just by seeing how many have sold. Compare it between the eBay sales, see what avenue is better for you to sell it. And then there's no fees. So unless you're using any other material, you don't have to factor in any fees. So reading the market. If you're seeing 10 or more sales in 30 days, it means there's pretty strong demand. There's a good chance that's going to move very quickly for you, especially if you're priced competitively. If you see 5 to 10 sales in it, still good demand, still a good item to pick up. Under 5 sales, not a lot of times you get such a good deal. It's not a bad item to buy. You just got to expect that 2 to 3 week turnaround time, or sometimes 3 months. I can tell you I'm buying flooring right now, but next month is when all my flooring is going to sell. So let's talk a lot more about eBay. So title optimization. Use all 80 characters. Don't waste any space. And what we're saying is, right here, you see these names right here, Dremel, Multimax? This is your search criteria. This is what people are going to be searching against. You want to utilize that full 80 characters if you can. What stuff sold well in the flea market? So I can tell you from personal experience in my area. I'm in Massachusetts. I sell at the Grafton Flea Market if you're in the area. So cheap stuff, sadly. A lot of people at the flea market are looking for great deals. I can tell you I brought some baby stuff. I marked it about 60% off. Barely moved. Now, what really did sell was I had a lot of the stupid cheap Amazon stuff, a lot of cheap Amazon clothing, trinkets. I sold razors, any soaps, any deodorant, bath soap, any of that stuff that you pick up, say during that Christmas time, sell extremely well. We probably sold $200 worth of, I think it was Halloween false body scrub. Sold maybe $200 worth of that. What else sold? I sold a ton of Neatos. Neatos are huge. I pick up them anytime I see them for sale. I sold some 3D prints. That's not really anything that you're going to be sourcing from here. What else sold well? So really a lot of things that are in that good value. I can tell you if you can, and the best thing for flea markets, if you're selling at a flea market, is keep your pricing simple. When I first did my first flea market, I had pricing everywhere. It confused people, it confused me. I had like sticker color tags. Instead, I set a $10 table, a $20 table, and I set prices next to the item right on the floor. What is the Home Depot and Walmart penny policy? So the Walmart penny policy, I'm not sure if I've really seen any items at Walmart for a penny. Very rarely have I seen anything under $1. Home Depot, you can actually go in the Discord group and go under, where is it, our chat room. And at the top, you're going to click the pin messages. If anyone runs into issues while buying penny items here, official HD policy, page 9. So we have the Home Depot penny policy for you to read right here. Open that up. It's not going to open because I'm always sharing my web browser. But you can go ahead and search that. So right in the chat room, go to pin messages. It's the second one down. You can view the Home Depot policy for penny items. But pretty much, if you check out with it, it's yours. You can leave. I don't be rude to anybody there. I've been told by their associates that they have to sell you one item if you find it, but they don't have to sell you the rest. I go to these stores very often. I don't really look for penny items, so I don't want to make any bad rep with any of the employees there because they bend over backwards for me to help me find the other clearance stuff. So I don't want to make any waves with my staff just because I go there pretty much weekly. And they know me by name. They love seeing me, and they love helping me out. They'll go out of the way to help me out now to find the items. So make sure you utilize that 80 characters. That's what we were talking about. Where's eBay? Right here at the top. This is huge. Now, one of the under tools that a lot of people aren't using, I'll show you right now. So let's say if I bought this at Tractor Supply. Dremel. Yeah, you can't return a penny item, but if you bought it for a penny, who cares? Yeah, so I personally have bought $800 vanities for a penny, and I bought some 2-3 cent items as well. I just don't go out of my way for penny items. I like consistency. I like to know that the item is going to be there, and I can sell it. Let's see, my internet's being slow there. Let me just do a quick. The only thing I want to show you is, say this one right here. Will this open? Perfect. So I'm going to take this link. I'm going to go over to everybody's best friend, ChatGPT. I'm going to paste the link. I am selling this on eBay. Help me utilize the full 80 characters for a title. I do that, and this will give me ideas of what I could use as a title for that item. So this one right here utilizes the full 80 Dremel MM50 oscillating multi-tool kit, variable speed corded with accessories. Now what this means is any single one of these words is a search criteria inside of eBay. So if I use this and they search multi-tool kit, there's a good chance that my item will show up. And that's why it's really important not just to throw Dremel MM5001. I want to utilize that full 80 characters. Another quick trick that a lot of people don't know is you can click the item. So we're in sold deals. I'm going to click one of the higher ones that sold for a higher price. I can do sell one like this. What that'll do is that'll bring over everything that somebody else did the research for. So I'll just upload the pictures to my computer. Throw them in here. So pictures there. I'm going to take that ChatGPT name that it told me. So I'm going to replace that. So Dremel 120. So it has a lot of this in here already. The only difference is I think mine's a 5001, so I'm gonna remove that. Mark it new. And now I can say provide an HTML description. Walmart actually sells 3-cent items. Yeah, I haven't seen it as often, but I don't see an issue with checking that out either. A lot of times you can even do the scan and go on your mobile app, and you don't even have to see somebody in the Walmart store. So let's see. So it gave me an HTML, so go back to our listing, show HTML code, paste that, uncheck it. So here we go, and it put all that in for me. Everything looks fine. I'm going to mark it. I'm going to do their suggested price. I got 3 of those guys. Set my shipping policy. Now, another great promote your listings. When I click this, it's going to automatically set it between that 11 and 15%. All you need is 2% to have your listing show up multiple times. So I'm going to do the bare minimum here. I'm going to put 2.1, so it's slightly ahead of the people that only do 2. But now there's a good chance that my listing will get seen over others, as well as they'll see it twice if they're searching this tool. And then click list it. So that's another great way if you're posting for the first time on eBay. Use ChatGPT. It's very knowledgeable on eBay. And I can pretty much now tweak this week by week depending on how quickly it sells. So a lot of things in the title. You want to include your brand, model, size, color, condition. 15 to 18 words, if you can, are going to perform best. Those are all keywords that you're going to search on. And a lot of power keywords are new, sealed, authentic, vintage if it's a collectible, rare if it's a collectible, and shipping fast. People like to know that they're going to get the item quick. That's why a lot of people shop Amazon over eBay. It's just because sometimes a lot of people drop ship on eBay and it takes 2 to 3 weeks. So if they know you're a fast shipper, they'll have a higher chance of buying from you. So item specifics, this is critical. Let's go back into it. So fill out all the available fields. And the reason for that is because it's going to be your search criteria. For an example, these needles right here. Let me revise this so you can see. Not view purchase history. So right here, these fields right here, fill out as many of these as you can find because these are going to be all search criteria for you. Do I remove the retailer price tags? Usually. I'd say 99% of the time I'll remove the retailer's price tags unless the retailer's price tag is above what I'm going to sell it for. Because say for an example, if you went to Walmart, they did their first clearance, you found a hidden clearance where it was 80% off instead of 20% off. I like them to see that, hey, I just schmoozled this guy. He probably paid that price and I just got it for this price. So that's the only time I'll keep the stickers on it and make sure that the stickers are showing it in the image. So make sure you fill out the style subject as much as this as you can because these will be all search criteria as well. So fill out any of that, fill out the brand, MPN, condition, color, size, any specifics about it. It just gives it more visibility. And like I showed you before, you can click the sell one like this and it'll pre-fill a lot of those specifics. Somebody else did a lot of legwork, and then anything missing or anything wrong, you can fill in the blanks. So eBay photos. If the item is brand new, you can use stock photos, and I'll use stock photos a lot. If the item is used, eBay requires you to make sure you take pictures of that item. I'll even take pictures of the item as an open box. It just creates less returns for you. I'll use it recommends you use 6 to 12 photos, and that's just because they'll help you move to the top of the algorithm if you have the proper photos, and eBay views them as high quality photos. I like to show all angles and any flaws, especially if it's used. Make sure you have a clean background, a white background works, or remove the background. Any good lighting, make sure it's good lighting. It's not in a dark room or a dark garage or any grungy area. And include any labels on it. So if it's electronic and has any specialty labels, just make sure you capture those labels up close and then put it on your listing. So pre-sale rules. What this means is if it's an item that's it's a pre-sale, so you're buying something that hasn't been released yet. What eBay requires they allow you to list it, but you have to be able to ship it within 30 days or 6. You can't list before 6 weeks. So they have to be able to ship out in 30 days, or be received within 6 weeks. You must have pre-sale in your title, and this is so eBay doesn't flag you. Include the exact ship date if you have it, or estimated to ship on, say, August 12th. And then set extended handling time. I'll show you how to do that right now. And list no more, like I said, no more than 6 weeks out before you expect the item in your hand. So if we go to eBay, we'll just go to fresh eBay. If we search the pre-sale tag, you're going to see that because you have to have pre-sale in it. For an example, these top chrome right here, pre-sale quantity. If we go in here, they're going to have in the description, see ETA August 6th. They have in the description when it's expected to come, and that's just because eBay does require that. So if you were to buy these Topps Chrome cards, say if it's a hot commodity, he probably paid like say 130 for it. He's selling it for increased prices, a hard to get or FOMO item or no longer sold. He lists it for higher. It's in that 6-week window. He can sell it now, and he puts that down below as well as the big description on it. So if you buy an item and if you go into the online finds, you'll see this a lot in here. So in this online finds, a lot of things will pre-sale in here where it gets released. It doesn't ship for a month, but as long as it ships in that month, you're going to get it in that month. You can go ahead and sell it and try to get the top dollar for it. So for an example, they bought this for $55 and they sold it for $150 on eBay. Even though the retail is $55, it's not. It's a hot item. It's a limited edition or a collector box. You can't purchase that anymore, so they're trying to squeeze the most that they can out of it. If you have any questions about pre-sales, I know a lot of you aren't pre-selling items yet, but go ahead and open up a chat support ticket. You can even @ Buddy. I'd love to help you out. So in-hand power words. This means if you already have it in hand, say if those cards got released early or you bought them in a store before they were supposed to be out, you have it in hand. That is an extremely strong power word. In hand, ships today, ready to ship same day. These are all going to get you sales before other people that don't have it are waiting extended ship dates. Where, for an example, Sam's Club yesterday released the Pokemon Ultimate Fighters collection. If you bought it in store, you waited in line. You having it in hand is going to give you more power than somebody that's going to ship it out in a week from now. So shipping, always weigh and measure. Make sure you have the correct calculations. You don't want to pay the most for your shipping. You want to make sure you calculate your costs. So always make sure you weigh, measure it before you start your listing. You can use that shipping calculator I showed you earlier to get the estimated pricing. If you use eBay labels, they give you 30 to 50% off. You also have Pirate Ship, Stamps.com. If you're a commercial shipper, you have bigger discounts. I personally like to do free shipping. It helps search your ranking to the top, and I'll just calculate that shipping cost and my sale price. Make sure you upload your tracking as soon as you have it. This will protect your metrics. It will protect you, allow you to become a top-rated seller. Talk a little bit more about that shortly. Some things to note is under 3 pounds, it's typically best to ship Ground Advantage. That's going to be your cheapest option. Right now, eBay is actually, or not eBay, USPS is actually giving people discounts for having over 3 to 5 pounds. 3 to 5 pounds is cheaper to ship than 2 pounds right now. So sometimes I like to mark that's a 3-pound item when it's really a 2-pound item just because it's cheaper. And you can play around with that. But you'll notice that 3 to 5 pounds priority, UPS Ground are going to be your cheapest methods. And then any heavy items, 5, 10 pounds or more, UPS and FedEx are going to be your best avenues for the cheapest pricing. So return strategy. Top-rated seller, you don't have to have returns required. It's account-based static metrics. They give you some perks for being a top-rated seller. They'll move you higher up in the rankings just because they know you're consistent. You meet all their criteria that they're not going to have issues with your stuff. If you're a top-rated plus, the one caveat is you have to offer free 30-day returns, but they give you 10% off on your fee discount. This I'll use on select items. You don't have to use it on everything. The one way to see where you are on eBay is if you go into your selling profile, performance, seller level. You can see right here what your current level is, what your past level is, and what they expect you to be at the end of the month. And then they'll give you all the metrics that you have towards that. So definitely strive for a top-rated seller. It helps you boost your listings on eBay. Hey, Deal Commander, I didn't see you in there. Welcome in. So return decisions, like I was telling you about, I don't always offer returns on eBay. A lot of collectible vintage is pretty safe to offer returns just because that's a niche item. They want that item because of what it is. So very rarely that'll get shipped back to you. Books and media, same thing. They're not going to ship it back within that 30 days if they need it, especially if it's school or it's not that one-time use. Home goods also, they're going to use that item. They're not going to ship you back. You don't have to accept back a used item. So unless the item is broken, that's another great item to have for return shipping, especially if you're that top-rated seller plus and want to make some money back on fees. Anything that with high margins is pretty safe to do return shipping, just so if you have to eat some of that cost, you can. Where you want to skip the free returns, clothing, especially if it's like dress clothing. A lot of people will buy an item for a wedding and then ship it back next day. You'll see that Amazon abuse all day on like tuxedos, dresses, where they use it for one event and then return it back. Electronics. They'll use the item, or if it's broken, they'll ship you back one of their broken items that they may have already. I don't like to offer returns on electronics. Designer items, you don't want to get returned to fake. Items under $20, and that's really just because it's not going to be worthwhile to pay for your label to come back to you, or any low margin items. So let's talk about Facebook. Facebook's a great avenue. You have that billion monthly users on it. Huge local reach. A lot of great turnaround, quick cash. I can tell you a lot of times if I list something today, I'll have people start reaching back out to me today. Like I said, quick cash. You don't have to wait for any shipping or anything to get returned to you. Are you posting new items daily or reposting some that don't move? So I allow my eBay items to automatically renew. For Facebook, I will renew my listing every 7 days, and then after I think 3 renews, you can delist and relist, and that basically reposts your item for you. Great things about Facebook also is the heavy items. They're expensive to ship, but they cost you nothing for a local pickup. You can buy it today, list it today, and even sell it today on some occasions. So Facebook setup, and this is what I was talking about. Somebody asked about ads. I have never seen a return on ad, but I do see a return on posting it on 20 to 30 local buy-sell groups as well. Like I post the groups, I'll show you how to do that right now. Renew your listings every 7 to 10 days just so you get that fresh visibility. It gets moved right back to the top. Complete your profile. They want to see a picture of you. I can tell you a lot of times I'll look at people's profiles and be like, yeah, that guy's sketchy. I don't want to buy from him. So complete your profile. Keep it as clean as possible. Buyers are going to trust real people over somebody that looks like a bot or somebody that doesn't look trustworthy, or they're going to scam you. And start building that seller rating. So if we go to Facebook, say this Dremel tool, let's just list this. I'm not going to fully list it. I'm just going to go through it quickly so you can see what I'm talking about. Items for sale. We'll use Dremel multi-tool, $80, tools, new, add a description, blah, 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 blah. So I don't use this boost. I don't use hide from friends. This is a multi. I'm just doing this to get to the next screen. Where's images? Add the images that I had. Next. So shipping, I'm not going to offer shipping. Local pickup, I do door. I don't drop off. Public. Man, my computer's being slow today. So this right here, list to your groups. So pretty much every town will have a local buy-sell group. So my local town has a buy-sell group, and then every surrounding town and county will also have a buy-sell group. I try to join as many as I can, and what's great is you can list to 20 of them at a time. So this one has 7,000 members, 25,000 members. This is going to extend your reach. And I'll tell you, 80-90% of my buyers come from one of these groups, my new buyers. So you just go down, select these groups that you joined. Make sure you select all 20, or you have 20 of them going. Now, even if it's a little bit of a drive, I'm willing to drive a little bit. So I say if it's a good deal or a good amount of money I'm going to make, I can drive 10 minutes to meet somebody. So I'll go ahead. I have 20 groups selected, and I'll click publish. Wait page. So to find these buy-sell groups, let's say Millbury. So just by searching my town, I have Millbury site for cheap, trades, business listings, selling site. So if I'm not part of this site, I can join it. You can do your surrounding towns and just join as many as you can. So see all groups. So now I'm searching groups. City. Millbury. So I'm not part of the community yard sale page. Join that one. And you just, as simple as click on the join buttons. You're probably from Millbury. Nope. Any other? Millbury Grafton Mamas. Nope. Buy sell trades. I'm already part of that one. And just like that, I joined a couple groups already. So make sure you join as many groups as you can, because a lot of your buyers from Facebook, that'll help boost you very quickly. So photos for Facebook. What sells well? I will tell you, real photos will always sell better than stock photos on Facebook. Stock photos a lot of times gives you the vibe that it's a fake item, that you're just listing these photos on there just to get people interested and then give them a Zelly scam. So always use real photos. You can have the stock photos after your real photos just to show it off a little bit more. Good lighting is key. Bright area outside on the grass, in your garage if it's a nice bright garage. Your living room floor, anywhere there's going to be a bright background. Show its item in use or context if it's a niche item. Make sure that background is clean, white, black. Just a solid background is best. Multiple angles if you can. Show all angles on it. Even on Facebook, if it's a inbox item, I'll still take a video just because it helps boost it. I'll just take a 360 video of that box. Your first photo is going to be everything, so make sure that first photo is great. That's going to be your punch to the item. They're going to see the photo before they read what the item is. That's what they're going to see as they're scrolling it, so make sure it counts. So best posting times on Facebook, from what I found, was 7 to 9 before work. You're going to get that people that are scrolling while they eat their breakfast, morning coffee, getting kids ready. 12 to 2, same thing. They're scrolling during lunch. People love to doomsday scroll. You do it probably. I do it. It's just normal nowadays. And then 6 to 10 evenings after the kids are in bed, they're resting, unwinding. It's a great time. I can tell you, a lot of people reach out to me between 2 and 3 a.m. that I get back to in the morning. And then weekends is always going to be the best traffic. So what you want to do is you want to be short in your replies. You always want to put the ball in their court, which means they're not waiting for you for anything. I've noticed that quick replies is going to be better than you giving a long description. Is this available? Yes. When do you want to pick it up? Now I'm putting on the onus to them. I want them to go and commit to a time to pick up. I don't want to go back and forth and then get ghosted 10 minutes later. Will you take less? What do you have in mind? Start seeing what they have. Don't give them a number yet, because you're going to give them a number and they're going to lowball you on that number. If they give you some stupid lowball offer, just say the lowest I can do is X and stand your ground. I'll tell you, a lot of times somebody will give me some stupid offer. I will respond back with an answer, and a lot of times that answer gets purchased. I say the lowest I can do is X. They'll say, well, can you do this? I say, no, I gave you my lowest price. And then if you agree on a price, say, great, does this place work? Does the local Dunkin's, local police department, does this place work to meet up? Start putting the onus on them, and that has turned around my sales and less ghosting probably 2 times the amount that I used to get. So Facebook safety, typically always meet in a public well-lit location. Police stations a lot of times have that trade-off areas that you can meet somebody to trade. I personally do all daytime meetups. I'll do some night. I have a 24-hour Dunkin's. I have a 24-hour police department near me, so I'll meet at night in those areas. And then I always prefer cash, but I'll also take Venmo and Zelly. I mean, pretty self-explanatory nowadays. Don't accept any checks. I don't do Cash App anymore because I've seen people Cash App scams. Bundle sales are great, definitely. Especially if you have a lot of small items, you can bundle sell those items. Just make sure you fill out that description to start utilizing towards your search criteria. If people are aren't viewing, even with pumping groups, or joining groups, is there a price error, or would you recommend changing? If you want to send some examples, if you have some examples of people not viewing your listings, I'll personally go through your listings if you want to send them to me inside of a chat support, and I can try to give you some tips and tricks on listings that you currently have. It could be as simple as changing your photos. It could be some of the description, or too long of a description, or your title. Give me some examples, and I can definitely help you turn around those sales. I can do some research for you. Just hop into the Deal Soldier group, open up that chat support that I showed you earlier, and just do @buddy. I'd love to take a look and see what I can do to help you out there. How do you know what's selling in the area or what people are looking for that will sell? So me personally, I'll sell everything that's 80% off, or sometimes 50% off if there's enough money in it. A lot of times I'll do that research that we did earlier, where I'll go to Facebook Marketplace, say for an example, vinyl flooring. This is something I didn't know sold very well. I tried it out 2 years ago. I'll never look back. It's the easiest money I ever made. So vinyl flooring, see all in the marketplace. So just looking at this, I can see that there's going to be a ton of flooring being already sold. So if a lot of people are posting, it's probably a good chance there's a lot of people reaching out for it. I'm getting a price point on area, so I'm seeing $80 to $50 per box of flooring. I can tell you, I've been buying the flooring 80% off, 90% off. I'm paying 10 to 15 bucks a box, and I'm reselling it for $35 to $50 a box, depending on the box. Obviously, vinyl flooring will sell the best. Pet-proof, waterproof. This smart color flooring is selling very well. I have had some of this as well. I can also search by availability and sold. So looking at my area, I can see that this oak flooring sold. I'm seeing a ton of flooring in my area sold. Probably means that flooring is a good way to sell in my area. So I just been a little bit more generic on the term and tried to see what people are selling. If I don't put anything in here, so say if I come back to Facebook Marketplace, so I just go to different, and I click selling. Sorry. If I click like vehicles or just pick a criteria, home sales, I can kind of see what other people are selling in the home area, like sheds, or probably bad example. I could search tools and do the same thing and look at the availability and look at the last sold. And this will give me an idea of what people are looking for. People even bought the little snippets for 50 bucks or a bunch of Mac tools for 120. This will give you just that general idea of what's going to sell in that area. Yeah, definitely, Benjamin. I'd love to help you out. I'll probably grab a drink, eat some dinner, and then I'll go and check that ticket for you. So, cross-platform listing. I recommend you list on every platform available. If OfferUp is good in your area, list on OfferUp. List on eBay, list on Facebook Marketplace, Mercari. Just know that if it sells on eBay, take it off for sale on Facebook, Mercari, and the other platforms. That's one of the mistakes that I've done in the past. We all do it. I've accidentally sold something on Facebook, sold it on eBay, and I had to actually cancel the eBay listing. So just keep in mind of where it sells and then delist it from everywhere else. Facebook first, especially for the heavy bulky items, just because you avoid the shipping and you avoid any fees. And then eBay first for that rare niche items, the collectibles. You'll actually sell a collectible more globally than you're going to sell it locally in your area. So if you have a niche item like the Pokemon original for Game Boy Advance, eBay is a great avenue for that. Remove from one when you sell from the other. We talked about that. And then track where that item sells. Track everything. Spreadsheets, just whatever tools you can use, track everything. Track what you bought it for, what you sold it for, how long you had that for. Track how the average price that you sold, list of items. The reason for this is Walmart, Home Depot, Lowe's, they repeat themselves every single year. Every single year in the summer, flooring goes on sale. Every single year, Halloween items go on sale. You want to look back to see what you sold that for and how long it took you to sell it, because the more metrics you have, the better off you're going to be equipped on what you're selling, especially if you have a limited budget. You don't want to sit on items in a limited budget. You want to make sure those items are always moving, always selling, always getting money back to invest in others. So what sells where? Better on eBay is going to be that, like we talked about, collectibles, vintage, niche, rare, small items, easy to ship. Toothbrushes. I sold a ton of electronic toothbrushes. Brand name clothing, electronics. What's going to be better on Facebook is your large items, your furniture, your appliances, exercise equipment. You'll see people post all the time. You can always get $1 a pound on exercise equipment. Kids stuff and toys. I personally hate selling kids stuff and toys because it's slow moving. But great avenue is going to be that Facebook. It does better on Facebook. And then your local only items where it's your local team merchandise. Say if you are Boston Red Sox, Yankees, like your local high school clothing line or anything like that, it's going to do better locally on Facebook. So top-rated seller, we talked a little bit about this, how you get the extra 10% off in fees. You have to do 100 plus transactions in 12 months. There's some tricks about getting that quicker, where if you buy a ton of playing cards, you sell them for $1, you don't make any money on them. You probably bought them for $1, but you can get 100 sales very quickly doing it that way. They sell very quickly. They have high turnaround. Sales to U.S. buyers, so 1,000 plus in sales. Below 0.5% defect rate, so that's shipping, no shipping errors, no late shipments, 3%. Tracking all upload on time, like I said, make sure you upload that tracking right away as soon as you have it. I know I bombarded you with a ton of information. Is there any other topics that you want me to talk about? Anything, questions that you have? Any questions about eBay, Facebook, Mercari, sourcing, pricing, where I find my items, how I sell my items, how I find buyers? Do we have any other questions? If you're a Pokemon fan, hopefully Pokemon releases on Walmart today at 9 o'clock. Alright, I'm not seeing any questions. I appreciate that. Yeah, I was in a rush today. We just moved 100 boxes of flooring right before this, so I didn't have any time to do anything. I want to thank everybody for your time. Thank you for being part of the number one group where you can source, flip it, profit. We're here to help you, educate you, train you. We hold your hand and make sure that you make a profit. Do I sell on Amazon or Walmart? So I do sell on Amazon. I'll sell on Amazon if I have a ton of bulk. I used to do where I ship it to the warehouse, but now I do a lot of ship it from my house. So I'm the warehouse now. I'll ship from my place, and I'll try to get it in that 2-day shipping. Amazon, if you have bulky, it was hard for me to get ungated. So if you can get ungated in the niche items that you're selling, it's a great avenue. Walmart is great. I'm actually pending Walmart to sell on it, especially if you buy from Walmart. I've seen a lot of people will buy locally on the clearance in Walmart, list it on walmart.com, and sell it very quickly. Yeah, fulfilled by merchant. Thank you, Deal Commander. That's what I was thinking. I used to do fulfilled by Amazon, ship a ton of boxes up there, but it was taking 2-3 months to get to Amazon. I can do the same thing from my house quicker than they can. So I've been switching a lot to fulfilled by merchant, especially if I have a ton of the same item. Hey, like I said, thank you for being part of the best group ever. You're never alone. No dumb questions. Always reach out for us. We'd love to help you out. If you have any other topics, in 2 weeks we'll be doing the basic training where we go through the whole group, go through each one of these channels, tell you each about them, what to look out for, what to look for when you're sourcing. And then, again, we do this Reseller Masterclass monthly where I'll go over some of the niche of Facebook Marketplace, eBay, and how to sell things. Thanks, everybody. I hope you have a great rest of the night.